Itepwakuyan from the FANDOM MENACE News Network right here. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are discussing The Withches, a 2020 Netflix release from Warner Brothers. That's right, it has angered a certain sect of the population due to an abnormality with one of the character's hands. Of course, we're speaking of the titular character Anne Hathaway, who replaced Angelica Houston in this reboot. Let's take it over to our correspondent in the studio, J. Jonah Jameson. He'll give us his thoughts on the situation. Jonah, take it away.
You serious?
This just in. Warner Brothers issues a statement. Let's go to that live.
We are deeply sorry. We're sorry. We're sorry. Sorry. Sorry.
Warner Brothers apologizes after The Withches sparks backlash from people with disabilities. Itepwakuyan right here with you, and we are covering this Netflix release from October. There's a problem. Anne Hathaway. Yeah, well, Anne Hathaway herself is problematic. I hate that word so much. Warner Brothers has apologized after being criticized by people with disabilities over the depiction of Anne Hathaway's character in The Withches. In a statement, the studio said it regretted any offense caused.
Are you out of your goddamn mind?
So I, of course, am going to inject my opinions and thoughts into this as I go through this article from Variety. In the recent Robert Zemeckis directed adaptation, Hathaway's villainous character, known as the Grand Witch, has missing fingers. Many people with disabilities pointed out she appears to have a pterodactyl, ectoplasm,
Are you fucking high?
ectrodactyly, a limb abnormality that's commonly referred to as, quote, split hand. Advocates fear that portraying villains with such physical defects can perpetuate stereotypes that disabilities are abnormal or scary. Where have I seen that before? I know. Paralympic athlete Amy Marin said she was disappointed in Warner Brothers and questioned if there were much thought given as to how this representation, buzzword, of the limb differences would affect the limb difference community. Oh, there's a limb difference community too. Well, is that like a leper colony? The official Twitter account for the Paralympic Games echoed Marin's statements, writing, "Limb difference is not scary. Differences should be celebrated, and disability has to be normalized." Oh, normalized. See, they want to normalize a lot of things. This is the caveat to this whole situation, okay? It's an abnormality. Therefore, it is not normal per se. Now, to say, is that frightening? No, but to somebody seeing it for the first time, it might be a bit shocking. So people can, it just depends on the person's the individual's level of cognitive awareness, I would think. Obviously, you don't want to go out of your way to make somebody feel uncomfortable if they have one of these abnormalities. But if it's a sheer visceral reaction to seeing something that's taken back a little or be shocked, then, I'm sure it doesn't make the person feel good. But, at the end of the day, it's a disability that they obviously they've lived with or learned to live with, but we just have to be a little more sympathetic towards them. Although seeing it portrayed in a fictional manner such as this, when it's not even portrayed as a disability, she's a witch. I see what you're saying. You're giving a witch split fingers, which makes it look scary because it's a witch, but a witch is a fictional character, and this needs to be explained to people. Marin explained that surgeons often try to build hands for children and adults with limb differences. It's upsetting to something that makes a person different being represented as something scary, she said. Yes, I am fully aware that this is a film and these are witches, but witches are essentially monsters, she continued. My fear is that children will watch this film unaware that it massively exaggerates the Roald Dahl Is that supposed to be Ronald? That's a typo, I would say. Ronald Dahl original. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. That limb differences begin to be feared. Respectability, an organization that advocates for individuals with disabilities, and Hollywood's tendency to disfigure evil characters, even unintentionally, can cause people to be afraid of those who don't look like them. And I discussed this earlier. Just seeing something different for the first time or something that you're not used to, it can be shocking. So not necessarily fearful, but that you can't help the way you react to things. And really, do you have to stop disfiguring villains? There's out of all the tropes that you could choose to get rid of, it's not using sexual assault as a means to develop a female character. No, we couldn't do without that, could we? But we have to do away with having disfigured villains just because people aren't smart enough to not be afraid of real people that may have a disability, such as a different looking limb. The decision to make this witch look scarier by having a limb difference, which was not an original part of the plot, has real life consequences, said Respectability's Vice President of Communications, Lauren Applebaum. Unfortunately, this representation in The Witches teaches kids that limb differences are hideous or something to be afraid of. What type of message does this send to children with limb differences? That they're watching a fucking movie. That's all. They're watching a fucking movie. A spokesperson for Warner Brothers said the studio was deeply saddened to learn that our depiction of fictional characters in The Witches could upset people with disabilities. That is a shot. That is a backhanded shot. Because they said it. They came around, they said, they could have just said the studio was deeply saddened to learn that our depiction in The Witches could upset people with disabilities. They threw in fictional characters in The Witches. I see what you're doing, and honestly, I don't mind.
Yes, every single thing I say offends them.
Who are you calling them?
In adapting the original story, we worked with designers and artists to come up with a new interpretation of the cat-like claws that are described in the book. The statement reads, "It was never the intention for viewers to feel that fantastical non-human creatures were meant to represent them." See, there it is right there. It's like an apology, but a backhanded slap at the same time. And I appreciate that. The subtlety, I like it. This film is about the power of kindness and friendship. It is our hope that families and children can enjoy the film and embrace the empowering, love-filled theme. There's the Paralympic Games on, look at Anne Hathaway. Probably not too far from what she looks like in real. The Witches, which debuted on HBO Max in October, is the second film adaptation of Dahl's popular children's book. The story centers on a young boy who stumbles upon a gathering of witches while staying with his grandmother at a hotel. After finding their evil plan to turn the world's children into mice, he works with his grandmother to thwart their wicked plot. Along with Hathaway, the cast includes newcomer Jazir Kadim Bruno, Octavia Spencer, Stanley Tucci, Chris Rock, and Kristen Chenoweth. So what I think we have here is a lot of oversensitivity. Granted, these are people with disabilities, but these are not characters that are portrayed as being disabled. They are, race of witch, they're witches, they're fictional characters. I really don't know what else these people want. You can't compromise. It's not even, like I said, it's not like they're taking a shot at physically, disabled people. This is a fictional character, a fictional race, so it's, I don't know, which is a race or a species. They're technically human somewhat, but I don't know. Am I mislabeling them? Am I using the wrong pronouns? I don't really care. Pronouns don't matter, so I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to bitch slap that like button for me, and if you haven't yet, please let today be the day that you subscribe to the channel. I'd greatly appreciate it as we march towards the 500 mark at the end of this year. Stay tuned Monday night for episode 126 of Going In Raw. I have a big announcement to make and something new to show you to coincide with that. Until then, I'm Etep Wakuyan of the Place to Be Reviews. I've been here with all of yous. And remember, if I don't see you, have a great day and a pleasant tomorrow. Catch you on the next one.